Hello everyone, today we have a special guest with us, Dr. Jay Savla, and he's a resident in MD Medicine at Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi, and he's also my brother. And he secured an AIR of 80 in NEET-PG 2021. Do you want to say something for yourself?
Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to this channel. It is a nice initiative which my brother has started. It is a growing channel, and this video, we will basically talk about the NEET-PG. I am currently a first year medicine resident at Safdarjung Hospital. I have done my MBBS from KM Hospital, Mumbai. And after that, I had cracked the NEET-PG during just after my internship. And right now, I am currently in the first year of my residency, which has been very hectic, but it has been quite rewarding. And yes, that's it.
I'm very happy to see him in Safdarjung Hospital, and all of his stories are very motivating for me to pursue further studies. And so I asked on Instagram if you guys have any questions for him to answer for NEET. And so the first question is how to study during internship.
Okay, so basically, the NEET-PG as an exam is usually it is basically of 200 questions. So you have to remember one thing, that it is quite different from your university or from your college exam with the fact that it will test a little bit of everything. So you don't need to know the entire MBBS in great details, but if you know something of everything, it might just be sufficient, just be enough to secure a good enough rank to get you a seat. So the one thing which before your internship starts or before you start preparing for NEET-PG, the one thing you have to keep in mind that you should never be afraid, and you should never give up beforehand that internship mein to hona hi nahi hai, you will just do it after your internship. That should not be the case. You have to do your internship well, you have to do all your duties, whichever postings you have, but you also should have if you are planning to go ahead and do PG in India, you should have a target to finish your NEET-PG during your first attempt, or at least give your best shot, if not the only attempt. And for that, the mindset is very important. You should not ever feel that ye to hona hi nahi hai. So if you want to prepare during your internship, it will be hectic. You will have to balance your studies with your duties, but your mindset should be of that at least you have to give your best attempt. You have to try your best. I don't know for everyone, but for people like for myself and many people like me, I have seen that when I am sitting at home for the entire day, when I have nothing to do and just I have to study for an exam, I am not that efficient for the entire day. But if I am doing it with my studies, if I have around 6 to 8 hours of duties and then the remaining 8 hours I have to study, then it becomes easier, because your mind is diverted from your studies. You are just not alone every time. You go and you meet your seniors, you meet your friends, and then you also study. So it becomes a little easier when you are in the campus, you are in the hostel. So that way, giving the NEET-PG just after your internship is beneficial rather than repeating.
Yeah, okay. And it brings me to my second question, which is how to study during heavy posting.
Yeah, so basically, first of all, for whoever is starting your preparation during internship, there are two kinds of people. One who have already started with their preparation in the third year or final year, and those who are already ready with the notes. And the second group of people is who start their preparation in internship. Both of them can easily do it. It is not a very big task, but you have to make a plan beforehand just when your internship starts, because planning is very important in this exam. It is more about planning and your tactics rather than just working hard. So I will give my example. My internship had begun with casualty postings, which were very heavy. Then in between, I had ENT Ophthalm, and then I had medicine. So I knew beforehand that I have to make best use of my casualty and ENT Ophthalm postings, because when the medicine posting will come, obviously I will not be able to study that much. And in fact, in my entire month of medicine, I was hardly able to study. I used to just solve some questions after I used to come home. I used to be very tired. So you have to have a mindset that during heavy postings your studies will suffer. So you have to make your timetable according to it. You have to try to cover the difficult subjects or the bigger subjects during your lighter postings, and the easier subjects, and you have to like you have to cover easier subjects during your heavy postings, and if you don't feel like studying, you have to solve more questions during your heavier post. That was my tactic. Like after the entire day of medicine posting, when I used to come back at home around 5-6 p.m., I used to be very tired, so I used to sleep for some time or just chill a bit. And then in the evening after dinner, I used to just solve a few questions or give a test and then just sleep. I used to not be like the entire month of May in 2020. I did not study anything. I did not cover any subject. I used to just solve questions or give a test and then sleep. Because it is mentally exhausting. Physically, obviously, it is exhausting to do medicine postings, but apart from that, it is mentally also exhausting. So you don't feel like studying. Then unnecessary. ऐसा नहीं है कि you just open your book and sit. Rather, it is better to solve questions.
Yes. Yeah, like you can't study during heavy postings, but make the most of the time that you have during lighter postings and minor postings.
Yeah, and one thing my senior had told me that ऐसा होना चाहिए कि the entire year, like when you are preparing for NEET-PG, there should not be a single day when you have not done anything. At least you should, at the end of the day, you should at least see yourself in the mirror and say कि हाँ ठीक है मैंने 5 क्वेश्चन पे से तो कुछ नया सीखा है. Well, at least I learned 5 new concepts. अगर even if you do that much for the like for almost 4-5 months का heavy posting रहता है, including medicine, surgery and OBGY, then also at the end of that 4.5 months it will accumulate and it will become a lot.
Yes, that is a good option. And which resources to use? Is Marrow enough or should I use first aid? And there are so many resources to choose from. So
in terms of resources for NEET-PG, there are a lot of resources available, and more or less all of them are equally good. Some might be a little better, but at the end of the day, more than which resource do you use, it is upon you that how do you use that resource. So whichever resource you select, you should trust that resource, and like you should make sure that for the entire year you stick to that resource. Don't keep on switching the resources, otherwise it will not be of use. So if you have already made your DAMS notes in third and final year, then it is better to stick to them in your internship. And if you are feeling कि Marrow में extra दिया, then you solve questions from Marrow. If you have already made Marrow notes, then don't sit and make DAMS notes in your internship. Read Marrow notes. Revision of the same resource is more important than switching to new resources. And Marrow is enough. If you are doing Marrow, then there is no need to do anything else. But if you are using only your DAMS notes, then I will advocate that you can take a plan B of Marrow and solve questions and give tests from Marrow. That will enhance your knowledge and it will also enhance your notes. Other than that, I have personally not used Prep Ladder or an academy, so I am not in a position to comment on them. But as far as first aid is concerned, I will strongly recommend the usage of first aid only for students who are in third or final year, not those who are already begun your internship or those who are already going to appear for the next PG. Because now it is quite late. By the time you get a hang of first aid or by the time you are thorough with it, it will become too late. And more than benefit, it will take a lot of your time.
Yeah. So just stick to the resources that you've already been using and don't switch.
The thing with first aid is that a lot of hype has been created on the social media about first aid, but you have to understand one thing, that when you become thorough with DAMS or Marrow, more or less everything that is given in first aid has been already covered. So there is nothing new which we will find there in first aid. Just the format and the way in which the book has been made is very easy. So for people who have not used DAMS and Marrow that much, it becomes a very good resource, but not for those who are already do their preparation.
And there was one more question, which was how to finish Marrow videos if you start an internship.
So to finish Marrow videos during internship is obviously a very huge task and a tough task. For that, I will recommend that you don't have to watch all the videos. You obviously will have to watch all the videos whichever you watch on 2x, but try to prioritize the subjects, and even in subjects try to prioritize the topics. So if you are weak in whichever subjects and the subtopics, try to see the videos of those topics and subjects, but not of everything. Like if I know that my physiology is strong, then I won't bother to watch each and every video of physiology. I will just watch the main videos, and other than that I will just read notes. And after reading notes, if you feel that this concept nahi samajh mein aa raha hai, after reading the notes, then you can watch the video. You can do the other way around. Before watching the video, you can read notes of the subjects which you are already thorough with during a UG, and then you can see the video if you feel that concept samajh nahi aa raha.
And I think there is some intern mode on Marrow that you can use.
There is an intern mode and I think कोई rapid 80 hours for medicine. ऐसा कुछ तो है. The newer modes I am not totally aware of. But see, if the problem with all these modes is that they will be curated according to the faculty. Like it will be based on what the faculty thinks. It will not be based on what you want.
Yeah.
So I will always say that if you already know what are your weaknesses or what are your strengths, it's better that you stick to the classic version and watch accordingly.
Yes. Okay. And the next question is, can you talk about the different type of questions that are asked, like image-based, clinical based, and how to do it?
Yeah. So the NEET-PG which I appeared, I think there were 200 questions in total. Still, like, how much ever we say that the question is going to be clinical or the questions are becoming clinical, at the end of the day you have to remember one thing, that even to solve a clinical question you have to remember facts. And that applies not only to NEET-PG but it also applies to USMLE, that if you don't know the basic fact then you won't be able to answer the clinical step. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं है कि you don't have to rote learn things. Medicine is all about rote learning. There is no way to it. Like there is no other way to it. And the types of questions, basically there are one-liners in NEET-PG because it is not possible to solve 200 all clinical questions in 3 hours. Okay, so there are image-based questions which are around 20 to 30 out of 200. So that becomes around 10 to 15%. Then there are image-based questions, clinical questions, one-liners. Match the following and true or false are usually in the form of an MCQ only, like with options. So statement 1 is correct, 2 is correct, in that way.
Okay.
Apart from that, during our time there was no video or no GIF. There were no multiple choice correct also.
Okay.
So yeah, basically these are the 3-4 main types of questions: one-liners, clinicals, or match the following and correct true or false, and image-based.
Okay. And how to make the most out of the internship duty in terms of clinical knowledge and application?
Yeah, so today only I was talking to one of my interns that there is a lot of sulking going around कि हमें हमेशा मामा का काम कराते रहते हैं. We just start drawing or we just start doing APGs, not learning anything myself. So I go around and tell all these interns usually, like, अगर तुम APG draw कर रहे हो, then you have to make sure that you read that APG when the report comes. Like APG is a report which comes hand to hand to the relative. So before handing it over to the resident or just telling a relative कि resident को दे दो, you can yourself go through that APG.
Yes.
There are many things in all the different departments which you can learn. So if you are say posted in medicine, all the APGs, all like direct clinical features, like now we have a lot of dengue patients in the ward, so you will see all types of petechiae, hemorrhages on the lips. Then there are cardiac cases, RS cases. So you have to go, like you have to become a little enthusiastic. You have to go ahead and ask the residents कि sir हमें interesting cases है, then please एक बार दिखा दो. So when you are drawing the blood, after it only takes 5 minutes to examine a patient. You already know the finding. You can just go and ठीक है हमारे पास है तो सुन लो. Carry a stethoscope with you. If you restrict yourself just to collecting blood, then you won't learn anything. You have to go ahead with an extra step and like develop the eagerness to learn. So the same applies in surgery. In surgery, you will never be called inside the OT, but you have to tell कि ठीक है सर एक बार मैं OT चलता हूँ. There you can see all the instruments, you can see laparoscopy कैसा हो रहा है. cholecystectomy अगर Marrow में हम लोग वीडियो देखते हैं कि cholecystectomy में ports यहाँ वहाँ डालते हैं. You can actually see that. जब आप OT जाओगे, you will see कि 3 port कहाँ डालते हैं, 4 ports कहाँ डालते हैं, inflate कैसे करते हैं. You will see everything. Then same applies to OBGY. If you see a labor, then you will know कि कब oxytocin देते हैं, कब placenta कैसे withdraw करते हैं, but after the baby is born, what all is done. Then if you just see it once, and when you read it in theory, it will become very easy.
Yes. So mainly you have to go and ask everyone कि दिखा दो कुछ तो पढ़ा लो, because nobody is going to come and show you something.
Nobody is going to be that free or ऐसा कोई स्ट्रक्चर तो इंडियन करिकुलम में ज्यादा है नहीं कि someone is going to come and sit with you and teach you. You have to yourself become proactive and go around and find good people who will teach you. And in all departments, in all colleges in India, there will be residents who will be eager to teach. ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होगा कि if you ask 5 people तो 5 मना कर देंगे. कोई तो एक तो ऐसा होगा जो भले कितना भी busy हो, he will give you time. Teach you something.
Yes. Okay. The next one, how to be consistent during studying with internship. and how to avoid distractions and everything.
Yeah, so see, consistency is something which is not like developed in 1 or 2 days or 1 week or 2 weeks. You have to like throughout it will be slowly, it will develop slowly. You have to first try to make a routine. If you are having a month of posting, समझ लो for example you have PSN postings जिसका timing आपको पता है कि 9 to 3 हर रोज होने वाला है. After that you are going to be free. Then you have to try to come to a routine की ठीक है 9 to 3 if I am waking up at 8 a.m. I go to the duty at 9 a.m. come back at 3. I take some rest. If in the evening if you want to play something or if you have some hobby which you want to enjoy, you can take spare 1 or 2 hours for it. And then also you are almost अगर 6 p.m. तक भी if you are done with everything 6 or 7 p.m. then also you have time till 12 or 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. तक कि proper you can study for 6-7 hours if you allot proper time. So that is the thing, right? You have to come to a proper like you have to format a proper plan according to your duty hours and make sure that you surround yourself with people who are motivated enough and motivated like you to crack the exam. If you are in a group जिसमें 10 लोग में से सिर्फ 2 लोग को पढ़ाई करनी है 8 लोग को मजे करने हैं, then in the end you will also end up just doing time pass. And in internship it is the easiest time because you are not liable to anyone. You don't have any ऐसा एग्जाम का कोई कॉलेज का प्रेशर नहीं होता है. No one is going to come and tell you कि पढ़ाई करो. It is just you who has to study. No one, not even your parents will understand कि NEET-PG कितना टफ है, उसके लिए कितना पढ़ाई करना पड़ेगा. उनके लिए तो आप लोग डॉक्टर बन गए हो. बाद में eventually जब NEET-PG हो जाता है, रैंक जाती है तो मालूम पड़ता है अरे रैंक तो इतना ज़्यादा आ गया है. So if you from the start only if you make a habit कि no matter how tough my duty is, at least I will spend at least 2-3 hours a day every day to study. Then automatically a habit build up हो जाएगा and when eventually at the end of the year when you get more time and the exam comes near you will increase your hours and because you have put effort in the beginning in the end will not seem very tough.
Yeah, it will be like your routine कि आज 2 घंटे तो मिनिमम पढ़ना ही है तो हो जाएगा उतना तो.
And that time also you will feel confident कि ठीक है अब तक मैंने 6 महीने में इतना तो कवर कर लिया है तो अभी थोड़ा जो ज़्यादा कवर करना है वो मैं कर लूँगा next 2-3 महीने में.
Which brings me to my next question. Is there any particular study strategy or game plan that you use or you would like to suggest?
Yeah, so now so those who are appearing for NEET-PG 2022 उनके लिए तो I think they should almost be done with the first reading and they should be planning to start revisions now because even if the exam is in March or April, almost by November you should be done with your first reading. There are still 2 months to go. Then basically our seniors used to say that you have to do first reading and then at least 2 revisions before the exam. So the target is 6 months for first reading, next 2 or 3 months for second reading, and last 1 month for 1 reading. So you get around 10, 11, 12 months in internship. So 6, 3, 2 ऐसा करके you can divide. This is one basic structure, and then according to the subjects like जो longer subjects like pathology, pharmacology, medicine, surgery, the bigger subjects. For that for those you can give around 15 to 18 days for the first reading. Around 2.5 weeks. For the medium subjects like physiology, anatomy, microbiology, you can give around 8 to 10 days for the first reading. And for short subjects like radioderma, ortho, psychiatry, for those you have to finish those subjects the first reading even the first reading in 4 to 5 days maximum. You cannot go on and read dermatology for 2 weeks even if you like it the most because then you are wasting your time.
Yes. And how to study with so much uncertainty because I don't think the exam dates are even out yet or any finalized dates.
So the biggest point which you have to make remember is that you have to not worry about the exam date. You just keep in mind कि just ऐसा vaguely keep a note कि March में होगा NEET-PG and just like you keep the date earliest which is possible कि February में होगा and prepare according to it. So if you are prepared for the worst, if it is postponed, it is beneficial for you. So like during my internship, the initial exam was going to be held in January 2021. Then around September or October they told us that it will be held in April 2021. So at that time it was like just a benefit for us because हम लोग internship कर रहे थे and we were obviously not going to be well prepared for January exam. When it became April, we were all very happy because we were already preparing for January. So April तो हमें benefit ही था कि 3 महीने हमारे revision हो जाएगा अच्छे से. So you just prepare for the worst, like worst case scenario, and whenever it is postponed, it will be beneficial. And you should never ऐसा भी कि नहीं पोस्टपोन तो होना ही है तो मैं अभी थोड़ा आराम से चिल कर लेता हूँ या अभी कुछ और कर लेता हूँ, वैसा नहीं है. Prepare as if the exam is going to be held in January or February, and then even if it is postponed, you get more time. There's nothing to lose.
Okay. And the last one is give us some motivation to study and also compare your experience in central government hospital and the state government.
Yeah, so see the motivation is like I am myself sitting in front of you right now. I will be very honest. Even I have had my periods of like self doubt, and I have also had my period where I used to think I'm not doing what I want to do, or I'm not happy in my life doing whatever I am. Even in my MBBS, even during my internship, I used to always think कि यार इतना memorization करना पड़ रहा है, इतना rote learn करना पड़ रहा है. मतलब I am not just why I am restricting myself only to this. But when you cross over to the side of PG, trust me that in all these branches, if you are in a branch which you like, it is like it gives you a lot of gratification. It will give you a lot of satisfaction. It will give you a lot of pleasure in treating your patients, in doing work for your patients, in coming to good diagnosis, in giving good care. And that at the end of the day is like as a doctor, I don't think there is anything more than that. So you remember that once like this is one of the biggest hurdles which will be in your life. If you are able to cross this hurdle successfully, if you are able to get in a good branch, and no matter like central institutes obviously are better, but even if you get in a good peripheral state colleges like in the metro cities or even tier 2 cities which are good colleges, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि they are very bad. So if you get in a branch of your choice, trust me, you will have the time of your life. And when you get into MD, MS or whichever degree DNB, the 3 years are like one of the best. After MBBS, those are the best years of your life because you are finally doing what you always wanted to do. Finally, you are at the center of the patient care. Finally, you are doing all the clinical things. You don't have to worry about the subjects which you don't like. Now, right, I don't like have to worry about gynecology or I don't have to worry about surgery as such. Like I am doing what I love the most. I am treating patients every day. I am interacting with so many people. So that will only like every journey has a phase. So this is like the NEET-PG is one of the toughest phase as a medical aspirant which you will have. It is even tougher than NEET-UG just because of the fact that there are a lot of subjects which you have to read and the exam is very competitive. Like because at the end of the day you have to get a good rank because to get a good branch of your choice you need to have a good rank. NEET-UG में ऐसा था कि everyone was getting into MBBS. Now everyone is going to the respective branches. And the branches the seats are less, so the competition is automatically higher.
And is there something else that you would like to add?
It is always like I think your core support group and the friends you are surrounded with matters a lot because I am pretty sure that if I was not in KEM or if I was not in the place where I did my UG from, I would have not studied that much. So surround yourself with people who are motivated enough, who are dedicated, who have the similar goals as you, not the similar goals as you, because it is very easy in these years to not put in effort. And हमें हमेशा लगेगा कि बाद में कर लेंगे पर वो बाद में वाला टाइम कभी नहीं आता है. So if you have planned कि तुम्हें PG यहाँ करना है, then start putting in efforts because this is the time. Like if you are able to overcome this phase, then no one will be able to ever stop you. And if you are sure कि तुम्हें NEET-PG नहीं करना है, कुछ और करना है, then for that also find people who are in a same direction.
Okay, so that's it for this video, and I hope everyone who is watching has finally some clarity on the exam and how to study during internship, and you have a game plan by now. And if I'll link his channel in the description so you can see more of his videos on NEET-PG and INI-CET, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay, thank you.